Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Cameron. OHSAA, I don't know why, but I just think they're miles ahead of Pennsylvania in just about everything they do. Organization, planning, carrying out events, running a tournament. You name it, my hat's off to Ohio.
Seems like we've always said that for years, that Pennsylvania will jump in and wait for Ohio to make the move. This year, Ohio made the move to an open playoff. 565 teams are going to be involved. That's a lot of teams playing. They brought their regions out, ready for the 2020 playoff.
What, 41 for Mahoney?
Yep.
Trumbull and Columbia.
Yep, out of the 565. And there's a couple teams. There's some teams in the area that decided not to play. Matthews, Sebring, East Palestine, and Chalk are the teams that decided not to play. In Division 1, we have 66 teams. In Division 2, 101 teams. In Division 3, 98, George. In Division 4, 101. In Division 5, 100 teams. Division 6, 103. And Division 7, 94 teams. So they broke it up.
Very even except for one, the big boys.
Yes.
The big boys, 40 fewer than the rest.
Yes.
The rest are all within a 10, 12 team radius, and makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the big schools, some of the bigger schools like Mentor, they're so big.
They're huge. They're campuses.
Yeah.
They are truly campuses.
Yeah, I taught it. I went my school had over 1,100 in a class, and when I was Butler, we had in the 8s, and now they're in the 5s. And
it's still big, but it's not
still big. No, it's
not 1,000. Yes.
No, not 1,100 in a class.
So when you look at these breakdowns, George, you think immediately, how's it going to work? Well, the coaches are going to vote on the seedings later in the month, and the brackets will be announced October 1st. So it'll be interesting to see how they decide to do it, what they
can
do.
Opt out by next week. There's still another week to opt out. Do you see you're the coach? What would make you opt out?
Injuries,
sickness, of course.
If you know going in, your hope was to play. I mean, you went over, your team's beat up, and there'd be no reason to play. There'll be some teams that are without that. I don't know what I don't know. They have to declare earlier. I don't know what they're going to think, what they're going to say. But right now, they probably know about their team a little bit. What's going on?
4 weeks.
4 weeks in, so I think there'll be some opt-outs. I think there will be some opt-outs.
We've been at Canfield enough times over the years. We've done some shows there. Really enjoyed ourselves, by the way. They're good in everything. You kind of expect excellence from the young women and young men you talk to, where they're going to school, what are you going to do, this and that. The product on the field is the same. 350 soccer wins. That's a lot of wins.
Yeah, Phil Simone, congratulations.
Good job.
Canfield soccer coach, boys and girls throughout the years, all the way back to 2001. Changed the girls soccer in midstream, stopped coaching the boys, and stayed in as girls coach. 350 wins. George, that's a lot of wins. 26 seasons, combined varsity and junior varsity experience. I saw the kids with them. They were so excited to have celebrate with him. The girls were celebrating, and I know some boys came back for the game also. 350 is quite a career for Phil Simone. Congratulations.
Good them both, boys and girls. I mean, that says a lot. I don't care what they say. There's a different technique there, different strategy, different touch.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at it. I coached the girls out. I had
a
great story. I had this young lady on my team. We've become rather good friends now. When she comes to town, she makes sure she says hello or whatever. But when my first year coaching the girls, she was like a sophomore. Athletic ability deluxe, but, I would go, Mary! She'd just start crying. And I was like, I wasn't yelling at her. I yelled.
Your voice.
Yeah,
it was your voice.
It was a voice. So I go, Mary! There it comes. So one day I said, Mary, how did you know I wasn't going to say something good? Like, Mary, right? She goes, I just knew. It didn't stop.
That's great.
And I said, no, here she is. She's in her 50s. She remembers it.
Yeah, that's funny.
And we laugh about it now, but at the time, my touch was too gruff.
Yeah, good point.
You do the girls' tennis.
The fundamentals. the fundamentals of any sport never change, boys or girls.
Right.
You know, the teaching of it. But the emotional makeup of boys and girls is completely different. And I've learned to deal with that.
You're so much better at that. I think because having grandkids.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, when you're involved with it every day.
I'm not good at all.
Yeah, you haven't ever had to deal with it. That's why.
And I'm like, jeez, I didn't want to make her cry.
You weren't even thinking about it.
I wasn't. In my mind, I wasn't.
You wasn't. You weren't either.
But
no.
Yeah.
So make that clear that Phil Simone understood the basics of fundamentals for both sports. He was not teaching anything different.
No.
The tackling and the dribbling and the goaltending, no different. But how you handle kids is different. And we're talking about boys and girls, but also within the framework of their own team. Mm-hmm. You may have two guys that they play better when you kick them in the butt. Yeah. And then four other ones go into a shell.
Okay, I'm at George Jr. Now, I have guys on there who have done some bad things.
Right.
And I mean, there's some bad operators. And one of those guys was the kind of guy that if I yelled his name out, his upper lip would start shaking.
How about that? Think of that.
And he was a violent criminal.
Think of that.
And I caught myself. I noticed. I said, and I looked and I could see I can't handle him like that.
Right.
I got to put my arm around him. Because and I heard somebody say the greatest line the other day about treating your players like differently. You treat them fairly, but equally, but fairly.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean you treat them all the same.
You can't.
And I thought that was a good lesson for me because I just assumed those guys could take anything.
Yeah. No. The greatest players in the world still have doubts.
Yeah.
And how they handle those doubts are different. Some show off and they're really doubt inside, but they show off. Other ones back into a corner. I mean, they're people.
How about Saban making that big tackle for the Dolphins? He couldn't handle it.
Killed the kid.
He should have never done it. Yeah, he knows now.
Yeah.
All right, now the winners and losers. The winner of the week is the Big Ten. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, in this area, you're fired up. Your Buckeyes are playing.
Here we go, baby.
And Randy Wade and the parents of the Ohio State kids, they had a lot to do with bringing them back. They wouldn't give up. They kept making noise. They wouldn't give up. They wanted that vote looked at again.
Is that the squeaky wheel syndrome?
Yeah, it did. It worked. And it worked.
Okay.
That's the best part. It worked.
No, I agree.
Big Ten's going to start their season up. They're right now in the middle of making the schedule. And in Ohio, everything revolves around Ohio State.
And they're national. Let's say it right now. They're Final Four.
They're in the hunt.
And in my mind, they're going to play the title game versus either Clemson or Alabama.
Yeah, that doesn't take much.
And, I'm not going out on that. But, anything can happen. But yet, at the same, we do the old Noah's Ark. They have two of everything.
Yeah, they do.
You hear this guy talk, he said, well, so-and-so. And then a couple of their opt-outs are coming back.
Yeah, they came back. And
oh, my.
The Buckeyes are loaded, and they got the most important position, Field. They got Fields as quarterback. When you have one of the top two quarterbacks in the country, and you fill it with studs all over the field, that's another reason Ohio State wanted to play so badly, because they knew that if they get on that field, they could do some serious damage. Congratulations to the parents, to the coaches, and to the players for pulling this off. Now they just have to do the protocol. And George, we're not sure about that.
No,
we're never sure about that.
No. Al and I are always skeptical.
We're not sure about that one.
Penn State, one of the highest outbreaks in the country at State College.
Yes.
But when you have 50,000 students.
With some outbreaks.
Coming from all over.
Right.
This is going to happen. And I'm thinking, Missouri, there's talk they might not be able to play next week. Go to old Alabama, they have 0. And I can't get over how someone can have 0.
Yeah, George and I talk all the time. He's much more skeptical than me.
I'm getting him, though. He's coming.
On this one, I am.
Slowly coming around.
No, this is the only one. This one I meant. I knew.
You knew the Big Ten would play.
Yes.
You said the Big Ten would play.
Oh, no. I never doubted
that. Yeah, you did say it.
Never, but I wasn't skeptical. I was fact. I knew they couldn't pass up that money.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't pass up the money. But in Alabama, it's hard to believe that somebody
somewhere in that athletic program.
Yes.
doesn't have
Zero.
the
I have to
sniffles and
admit
go
that.
get a test.
And they know that if their name happens to get out and they stop Alabama from playing a football
They
game,
have to move.
they will not be able to live there.
No, I told
They'd
Al this. I said, if you're the professor that gives that quarterback the E,
yes,
you don't live in Alabama anymore.
Oh no, you're out. I'm telling you, your house is going to get bombarded that night. I don't know if it's going to be on kind of.
Herb Street left Columbus.
They try to get him.
He ended up moving.
Yes. So think about it. And it's 30 times worse in Alabama.
No, they have no pro.
No, they don't think anything with Alabama. That's all they think about.
I agree with you. I agree 1,000,000,000%.
And now we're going to see how many fans are going to be showing up. That's changing daily too. So
Jacksonville last week, it was a regular crowd.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I couldn't tell if they let him in or not.
Yeah, because they have a small crowd anyway.
Yeah,
right.
They have them all blackened out in the top. They're tarpaulin.
So
I'm anxious to see. I know Philly and Pittsburgh have been told nothing in the rest of September, but I think in October. And the Bengals and Browns are going to have fans.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's changing.
You know what? You and I spoke about this on a radio show. Here's the thing that drives me crazy. I said to my buddy, I'm talking like Yogi Berra. He said, what was the crowd like? I said, they were all together, spread out. He said, what? I said, no, let me take this apart. They had them all over the place, but in the particular areas, they were on top of each other anyway. I
saw it happen too. I saw that all the time.
And I was at a football game the other night the same way. They had the band on the other side, nice job, spread out. But the homestands, everyone else was there, and they could have distanced, but they didn't.
I know. I don't grasp that. And they're the first one to complain if they get shut down. That's what bothers me the worst. Yeah. They don't follow the directives.
You get that mask on, we can be done in 8 weeks.
Yes.
No, we're
But we want the Big Ten to play.
But we're playing.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes, true.
Let's talk about the big boys now. Boston Celtics, man, okay, I'm going to give you the scenario. They lead the whole game one. Right, I got this one. Gets late, little tight, bang, tough loss. They come back Thursday night, no problem. Tie it up 1-1. Still a series. There's no Boston Garden. There's no Miami Arena. Up at half, just crushing it.
Yes.
Third quarter. 37.
Outscored by 20 points.
17. Now, I don't know if the 37's worse or the 17's worse, but they're both the recipe for disaster.
Well, the 17's worse because you'll follow NBA. There's many quarters right now that are playing in the 30s and high 20s. So that's kind of normalcy. But what happens is when you get 17 points, when you're missing every shot and the other team's going to score some points. So Georgia, 58-41 lead. By the time I turned it back on, it was tied. I couldn't believe it.
How about this? They fought back and went up 5 again with 4 minutes.
I know they did.
So you
back-to-back baskets. They couldn't stop that.
You think they're okay. Yeah. Let's talk about it. After the game, Kemba, Tatum, Brown, Smart. Brad Stevens has to have him up the room. Almost a fist fight after. I know. I didn't have to be in there to know 36 was involved.
Yeah. Smart is the guy that when he's on your team and you're winning, he is the best teammate to have because he is after you every game. He plays hard.
He's all in.
He's all in. But when you're losing, he can't shut up. And when you're losing, you don't want to hear your teammate complaining about this and that, being selfish, undisciplined, and now all of a sudden they came back at him. And it was almost 2 fists.
So he's moaning about people pointing, and Brown says, we need to all stick together.
Yes.
And he's saying, well, you pointing at me.
Yeah, and Brown was saying the right thing. Brown was saying, listen, just because we lost. This is not, maybe tomorrow when we settle down.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk it over. Maybe we didn't take the best shots. Maybe we didn't dig in. But
you think we have a good buddy watching a little closer now than before, and Kemba, it seems like when he's going good, but he has these lulls too, and I think it's when they stop pushing the ball. I think
he's better than
much better.
He is better than before.
That sounds so simple, though.
Yeah, and it's all based on if you defend. Because unless you're tremendous,
to makeup.
Yes,
right, okay.
So if you're tremendous running out of the net,
that makes sense.
Yeah, but when Miami scores 37 points in the quarter, you're walking out of the ball every possession, and all of a sudden Walker looks bad because he is not near the player. that he is in the open court.
No, absolutely.
And here's Tatum. Tatum's much better in the open court, too. So when he's pounding that ball at one time, too, he's not as dangerous either.
Jump him when he gets that ball. And you know what he's going to do. He's going to kill the entire time. He's going to take it through his leg, jump backward, and shoot.
That's what they do over and over. And I say that I tell him
he missed his last 7 on game 1.
Yes, I'm big on that. And they're going in. They're saying, "Man, he's talented." And when they're not going in, there's no offensive rebounding.
We say, "What's he doing?"
And I hate it. I hate that ball. That's why they play in the NBA, though. That's just the way they play.
No, you know that.
I just know they're going to play that way. They're going to use their individual skills, and they're going to use it to the nth degree.
Let's talk college football. Pretty soon we're going to be able to talk about 7 more SEC games.
The MAC's coming back, too.
7 more Big Ten.
Did you see that?
They want to.
Yeah, the MAC wants to come back, too.
Lost all their money.
They want to come back also.
Yeah, lost all that money.
Because locally, that's what we're talking about. The MAC and Ohio State, those teams might be playing.
And the MAC lost all that Big Ten.
Oh, they did lose all that money.
They did. They can't have 2 years of that.
No.
Let's look at some of the games that are going to go on. BC Duke, how do you see that thing? I'll ask you, we talked about it on the radio, having had a game, Duke's advantage.
Yeah, big advantage. I'll take a team that's played a game. Their kids know what the environment's going to be like.
Okay.
They know exactly now they get a chance to hit somebody else what they have to improve on.
I thought they looked good at Notre Dame, by the way.
Yeah, they did. They played well. And
Notre Dame's good.
Yeah, oh yes. We just don't know about Boston College with a new quarterback. We watched him play in high school. He was one of the top
players. And I remember we both were wrong. They were going to play St. Joe Prep.
Yes, and he beat one of the best teams.
And
Swifty was there.
And we said, look, it's fun's over for Pirates.
Yeah, that's how good Pirates
was.
He
destroyed them.
Yeah, so Phil Javokovic will be playing there at Boston College. Duke under Cutcliffe. Cutcliffe always gets better. He's a great coach. They came out of the gate, played pretty well against Notre Dame. I would think Duke will win that game. But once again, Boston College might be a top 10 team. We have no idea.
We have to watch them play.
Until we watch them play, yes.
Good point. Tulsa Oak State, Gundy, some off-season issues with the team several times. One was with the right-wing T-shirt.
Right.
Or the
bad time to wear that.
Yeah,
bad timing. Bad timing.
And his star, Chuba Hubbard, he called him out on it.
Right away.
He said, look, things will get better around here. I'm going.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden,
Gundy backed off.
He listened.
Yeah, Gundy.
This guy's not normal.
Let's call a team meeting.
What do we got to do here?
Give me a discipline.
Enlighten me. I talked to a guy last night. We had a great talk last night.
Enlighten me.
One of my film guys from when I was at Butler.
Okay.
He does the football. And he has 3 sons. They all teach different places. And we were talking about being enlightened and getting that old fart card and turning it in. I've turned mine in. I think I'm doing the best. But what I'm saying, I can always learn more. I need this guy, and Gundy at age 50 needs this kid to sit.
That's what happened. He said,
Coach, listen, I know 15 years ago that shirt or whatever was probably all right. Today, we need to talk.
Yeah, and that is a big thing in athletics, that coaches have been enlightened and figured out that, man, I better change my coaching style.
And if you played ball, and if you played, color doesn't exist to you.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
If you played.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't, that's another issue.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be no issue, but it is in our country.
Absolutely.
It is, and that's what
divisive.
And that's what this is about.
Yeah.
And Hubbard, the great run, not a good one, a great running back for Oklahoma State, decided to come back. That was a big thing in Oklahoma State. And when Gundy found out he was coming back, he said, I better make some changes in my thoughts too. And he did, because Hubbard led the nation in rushing last year. So this
Can he get 2,200 yards?
Yes.
He's Barry Sanders type.
He is that type of runner. And they hand the ball to him too. They run the ball.
Yeah.
And
so he's 8 yards back too.
Always.
Full speed.
Yeah, he can go either right or left. No question. But George made the bigger point of this. That Oklahoma State took those problems, made a change in how they approached it, and now all of a sudden things are back to where they should be. Tulsa wants to win this game in the worst way because they are considered the little sister out there.
And used to be all O and OD. I think I've seen them a few times since. It didn't look, but today
they're playing a different breed.
Little D won't do it.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma State's that powerful.
Yeah. Pitt, Syracuse. Al and I were talking. We're trying to think of the last time Pitt was a 21.5-point favorite. I'm going back to Danny Marino.
Yeah, they have not been. And so a couple of things. They drilled a team called Austin P the first game. And Syracuse only had 200 yards total offense in their first game. It's a hard game to match lineup because Pitt has dominated Syracuse, winning 12 of the last 14.
Would you have known that without seeing it?
What?
I'd have thought Syracuse did better in the dome.
Yeah. I would not have known it. No, I know.
I wouldn't have. No. That's surprising.
Mm-hmm. And Syracuse coaches Babers is on the hot seat big time. So he'll have to have his team ready to play. Hopefully they can do better offensive. If they do better offensive, they'll beat the spread if they can score some points. And it is how they score because Pitt's defense.
You and I have used the term moto over the years. Mm-hmm. Master of the obvious.
Right.
Tulane did come back and win the game, which was nice. But South Alabama, by the way, I watched, they had some athletes.
Well, they always do.
Navy, 55-3 to Brigham Young. If you found one good thing to say about Navy, please tell me.
Yeah, and what happened was Navy at BYU was a national game. I mean, it was a game that everybody watched. Mm-hmm. So when you watch Navy that night with your own eyes, you're thinking they're winning the game this year.
No,
you think that's what you got to think.
I called him on the phone, and I said, "Listen, if they don't change quarterbacks and put a halfback there,
right?"
He called me. He said, "They're not even reading the offense. They're just in."
Never did that before.
No.
Yeah, so they didn't get killed. They just passed that 55-3 to BYU. Navy has not been beat like that. I don't remember forever.
Yeah. Coach blamed himself. No hitting.
Yeah, he did. But I think that's the right thing to say. But I still worry that they're lousy.
They just look lousy.
I'm worried that they're lousy. We don't know that. We'll find out. We'll know after this week.
When I hear Navy's quarterback's a good passer, I get nervous.
And he's not a good passer either, by the way. No. See, I got to see him play because he's not a runner, but he's not a good passer.
Now, how about South Florida and Notre Dame?
Interesting game.
Each have a game under their belt, both with a victory.
Yes.
There's something about Notre Dame on those Saturday 2:30 jobs that at home, they're tough.
Yeah, they're telling us 26-point spread. They'll tell you that's how good they are. South Florida won their first game, though. And anytime you come out with a win, you're feeling good about yourself right now. Notre Dame struggled with Duke. I like that, a little bit of struggle, because now they'll be ready today. I wouldn't doubt it.
Coach got a big extension.
Kelly did?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I mean, he won't be buying any used anything.
Yeah, my thoughts on that one is Notre Dame's going to rush on. I think.
Do you make more than 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
That's what I
Give me a score. Just
I'd say 47-7 or something like that. That's what I think it's going to
be. And then I'll talk about this. You guys that care about point spreads and all. Till they give that first touchdown up, they can be really stingy. And once they give the first one up, sometimes you might get another, they'll sub. But if they have that shutout going, they may just try to keep it.
Yeah, I don't think South Florida got a lot from Citadel. I don't think they learned a lot from themselves. Only thing they learned was that they're more positive coming in. They feel good about it. They won.
Absolutely.
But I think they're going to run into a bus.
Central Florida, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech played a game and won in Tallahassee. I've never seen. That's not the Florida State I remember.
Yeah, and that's why early in the season, we're talking a lot of college football here. It's hard to judge. I think Florida State's lousy offensively.
Okay.
And I think Central Florida is really good offensively. So I'm not sure if the Georgia Tech defense is real good, or we're going to find out. Or we're going to find out this one is good.
No, if you don't, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I know Central Florida will score on everybody. They might not stop you all the time, but they're going to score.
SMU in North Texas, is the scoreboard capable? Do they need a 7 on that left-hand column?
I would have said that before, but SMU looked really lousy offensively last week. And it wasn't like they played anybody good. They played Texas State, And so I'm not sure.
How long's Bouchel been there?
Since who?
Reagan. Reagan. I think he's been there since Reagan.
They did not move the ball like they normally do. Threw a couple interceptions. North Texas did move the ball last week. Last year was a 49-20. But I'm guaranteed, without even looking, it has to be close to 70.
It is.
It has to be. The over-runner has to be close to 70. So they better move the ball.
A couple more games to look at before we get off. Miami at Louisville, the only ranked teams of the night. I'm stuck. I love the Miami quarterback that transferred, Derek King. But I'm also a Louisville guy. I hate in the NCAA tournament when they take two of my little
Yeah.
and put them together. They didn't tonight.
Yeah, this is a good football game. Miami trying to put themselves back on the map, national map, not ACC map, national map. Louisville trying to continue their late surge from last year.
Yeah, big bowl last year.
Yeah.
I think they cost the Mississippi State coaches.
Probably did. They probably did.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Leach is there now. That's interesting.
Yeah, different.
But two good quarterbacks. You want to see two good college quarterbacks.
Move.
I'm talking about
Can they
guys
move?
can move and throw.
Okay.
Yeah, King we already mentioned, but also Cunningham from Louisville. These are two big-time players. This is going to be a fun game to watch. So tune in to Louisville, Miami. That'll be a great game.
One last one, Wake at NC State. Wake with the loss to Clemson. I can't hold that against them.
No, that's a big. I think that really holds well for Wake. That Clemson only scored 37 points. Normally score 50 in those games. And once again, the reason you can't jump in, NC State might be loaded. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking they aren't.
Right.
But if they happen to be, they'll beat Wake because Wake has no juggernaut.
No.
So until you see a team play.
Right.
And that's why
I like the old eye test myself. I can read all. I like the eye test. I look and I'm like, you know what?
in high school right now, you people who watch this show, when you go to a high school game, you see a team play 3 times, you're saying, man, that team's really good. I've seen them. Once you see a team, you can tell how good they are speed-wise, how big they are, everything about them.
Absolutely.
Early in the year is hard, George, to judge this.
I agree. Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.